I can. Let's do it. I think we should. I think we should make that a part of the podcast.
Okay, as close to the mic as possible. Speaking to the mic, you know how to do that. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, 1, 2,
I felt like
3.
cheerleading.
Ready? Okay.
Welcome to the Brand Therapy Podcast.
We're rolling. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Brand Therapy, the brand therapy for the soul. It's kind of like chicken soup for the soul, but for the brand marketer, right?
I like that.
You like that?
I do.
So we've got our very first guest, my very first college friend, my longtime boo, Miss Tiana Patrice, here with us.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome,
I have
welcome.
no idea where I'm supposed to be looking at.
That's you.
So, hey.
That's kind of
Hey,
me.
y'all.
Yeah, that's
I
you.
like
That's you there.
it.
You can look there.
Hey, y'all.
So, Miss Tiana Patrice, thank you for joining us on our first episode of Brand Therapy.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
This is a very special day for both of us, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
What's so special about today for you?
So today is my boss-iversary. I think I need to coin that. I might need to trademark that.
Registered, copywriting.
We're saying it first on your show.
Yes.
I mean, it's been all over my pages and stuff, but boss-iversary is mine. It's my thing. 5 years today. 5 years in business since I flipped the desk like Jesus and just walked out of my corporate.
He-manned it.
Just like that. I don't need this job. No, it really didn't go like that.
Okay.
But 5 years today
awesome.
To the day of leaving my job. So I'm so excited. Hey.
All right. So let's get into, well, first tell me a little bit about, so you flipped the desk, you started this entrepreneur journey, and where did it take you?
Girl, so listen, do we have enough time? You said this is like brand therapy for the soul. Y'all about to get y'all whole therapy on. How much do you want to know?
Well, give us the highlights.
So about 5 years ago, I remember having this conversation with you. Like, girl, I know I'm supposed to be doing more. Mm-hmm. There's more that I'm supposed to be doing. What does that look like? Mm-hmm. And praying, like, God, show me my purpose. And I went out on faith and quit my job.
And I was still going to my job, and I was sad every day.
She ain't have to be sad because she was eating steak and I was eating ramen. Let me tell y'all, like, that whole journey, there's so much advice that I can give, and that, for those of you that's thinking about quitting your jobs right now, let your corporate career pay you to start your business.
Yes.
Like, if you don't have enough in your savings, or you don't know where your clients are going to come from, don't go quitting just because you're inspired.
Don't
like,
flip the
have
desk
a plan.
If you don't have that.
Come on, listen. Don't break that desk if you can't pay for it. Let's say that. Right? That's good, ain't it? So yeah, started that journey and have just been nonstop ever since. And we'll talk more about the journey, but I'm just excited. Like, 5 years, they say the toughest seasons in business is like that first 3 years.
Yeah.
So here I am, 5 years in. I never thought that the journey would look like what we're doing now. So just really excited about it.
There it is. So let's kind of break down that journey a little bit, but we're really gonna highlight just one area, right? We don't have all night, right? We got some time. We got a little bit of time, but let's just go like a case study, right? Okay. So give me a time that give me a client or an experience or something that we can kind of break down. Like, what are we going to talk about today?
So what I really love to work with the entrepreneur is more of their personal brand and their mindset. Okay. Getting prepared for entrepreneurship.
That's big.
And, I think a lot of times because purpose is popular, we just jump out. And, girl, listen, coin it, tag it. That's mine. Because purpose is popular. Everybody wants to find their purpose. They want to start a business. Being an entrepreneur is popular right now. And so everybody wants that dream of sipping Mai Tais from the beach because that's what they've been sold on social media, but the reality is it doesn't happen like that. Right. They tell you, oh, you can sip Mai Tais from the beach, but they don't tell you about the 6 years that they were broke eating ramen before they got to that Mai Tai, right?
Before the Mai Tai.
Right. And so if we're talking about case study today, for me, I would like to share, I think my personal journey of having to get to the point where I could be that entrepreneur on the beach and what that looks like, starting now. And a lot of times we want to go straight to the photo shoot, but we have no clarity in regards to our brand. So for me, I'd like to focus on making sure that you're clearing your brand and giving you some case study from that.
Okay. So that's our case study. If you were to kind of reflect on everything, what would you say you did wrong going into entrepreneurship? If you just had to lay it out there, this is brand therapy. We're going to lay it all on the couch, right? Well, we're going to get a couch eventually. We're going to lay it on the table couch for now.
Nice table.
The theoretical couch.
Okay. I think I can fit.
So let's start there. What went wrong?
So for me, jumping out and for visionaries, when they can see the big vision, you want the big vision then and not want to take the baby steps. And so I'll tell you, even now at 5 years, we're having to go back to what I should have done at year 1 and 2.
Those basics.
The basics, you know, grabbing the content, simple stuff such as putting your content in folders, you know, I know that sounds really, really simple.
No, like that's ground level, but
listen, your Gmail, everything.
What's your desktop look like?
What's your desktop look like? That is a reflection of where your business is going to go. Like, I'm in the season now where we're looking at partnerships and sponsorships, and what they need are impressions and all this information, and we have it. It's all over the place. Yeah. And so what I did wrong, I feel, in the beginning of the journey is I went straight for the big vision and I skipped a lot of the small steps. And a lot of entrepreneurs are doing that. They want the photo shoot, but they have no clarity on their ideal client. Yeah. They want to get to the 6 figures, but they don't know how to manage 600 in entrepreneurship. Right? Yeah. Come on now. Hey. Listen, I'm about to take all the church's money up in brand therapy. So for me, I jumped right to pass the offering plate, people. For me, I went straight for the big vision and I skipped the small steps. And a lot of times we think that if we focus on the small steps, then we're not going anywhere. Yeah. But the reality is small steps still equals progress.
Absolutely. Because again, down the road, that's going to be your foundation, right?
And if you don't get it right in the beginning, you end up having to go back. I mean, like, listen, like you said, we don't have enough time, but where I am right now, even at 5 years, it's a celebration. But my team hates me right now because we're having to go be behind the scenes, you know, and dig and getting things together and putting it in folders. And they're looking at me like, why wasn't this already done? And it's because I was going for the big vision. Yeah. I didn't think that stuff matters.
Fast, but right?
Right.
Moving fast.
But it matters.
You look back and you're like, I don't even know what I did last week.
Right.
Right? Right. It's just everything's boom, 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 boom. But you got to have that level of organization and clarity. Yes. And yeah, I get you.
Yeah, that clarity is really something else, you know. A lot of us, again, when we talk about purpose is popular and being an entrepreneur is popular, right? That's as far as a person has gotten when they start their business.
Right. They're like,
I just want to start a business.
I just got to go.
I got to go. I got to start. I got to quit. I got to launch. And then the failure becomes when you're out there and then you don't have a clue what you're doing because you skipped the beginning steps. Yep. And there's a difference between entrepreneurship and being a CEO. So when you're building a brand, you should begin building with a CEO mindset, which is, what's my numbers? Y'all, listen, come on now. I can't even take the church's money because I ain't have none. I was broke. Yeah. You know, so those types of things in my journey are the things that I did wrong.
Right. And it's funny you mentioned numbers. I actually just read Rachel Hollis's book, Girl, Stop Apologizing. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop apologizing. Okay. What are we talking about? And one of the things that stood out to me the most is when she was talking about how she had grown her business, she had staff, she had accountants, but she personally, as the CEO of her company, she didn't understand the books and it terrified her. And so that was one thing that she kind of committed to learning and understanding, because you can't know where you're going if you don't even understand where you are. You got to get somebody else to translate your business to you.
That has been the hardest thing about being in the season now of expansion and having people come in. And as a solopreneur, you know, it was almost like I ran my business like a teenage girl. Listen, for those of you who are learn from Tiana, okay? For those of you who are coming into this entrepreneurship journey, you know, and you're building your brand, we're talking about brand therapy, just because you get a client to pay you $1,000, that's not all your money. You have taxes, you have, responsibilities. You need to be able to put money aside. There's invest it back into your company.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a solopreneur forever. That is not the business. People have made a movement about being a solopreneur. It is not fun. It is stressful. You will forever burn the midnight oil. And so now being able to bring on a team and having to go back through my financials and make it make sense for someone else.
Right.
So I'm committed to learning the numbers now.
It's a real thing, yeah.
It is. And so having to go and take a QuickBooks webinar every week, I don't like numbers, but I know that in order to grow, I have to be committed to at least knowing them. And that's how you keep people from stealing from you too, but that's another conversation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't have somebody else telling you how your business is doing. You don't know if they're accurate, if they know what they're talking about. Like, you might not live in that space, but you have to at least have a clue.
Listen, and I had no clue. And talking about growing a brand and now in positions to start pitching, the companies. We have the co-working space and going and pitching and talking about getting investors and things of that nature. And they're asking you questions such as your burn rate. And I'm like, who burn? Well, I come from burn. Listen, it was a totally different thing. You know what I mean? Brand therapy. We just get real here.
We're on the couch.
Listen, we're on the couch.
Safe zone, right?
Total safe zone. But you have to know your numbers. It's one thing to learn how to make money, but you also got to know how to manage it.
Exactly.
And multiply
and grow it.
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly. So we talked about what went wrong, and it's church, right? But at the same time, a lot has gone right.
Yeah.
A lot has gone right. So we can't just harp on what went wrong.
Right.
What went right? What did you do right? You did something right 5 years in.
Did.
A few things went right.
You know what was so, I could give you a million things that went right. You know what I mean? But at the base of all of it is that I kept going.
Exactly.
And, I think a lot of times we put so much focus on all of the small things, the failures and the success, but the reality is I kept going. Like, even in this season, I posted on social media today, I said, in this next year, all I want is wisdom. I'm not asking for 100. All I want is wisdom for the expansion, wisdom for the assignment. So what went right is that I kept going. Even in the midst of the repossessions, I kept going. Even in the midst of the ramen noodles, I kept going. Even when abundance was there.
She gonna have high blood pressure, all this ramen she keep mentioning.
Honey, I'm gonna write a book about it.
About your high blood pressure?
No!
You're now listening to Brand Therapy, powered by the Renee Agency. I forgot what we were talking about.
Girl, I'm going to write a book about top ramen.
And the high blood pressure from it.
No. Okay. So what's going to happen with the book, though, is I'm going to teach y'all 23 ways to cook that delicate long ramen. You put a little lemon juice, a little garlic on the side, a little cilantro, Mexican style that thing. A little turkey meat, a little red sauce, spaghetti that thing. I'm trying to teach y'all people something. I'm trying to teach you something. As you're growing your brand, you got to save your coins. I'm trying to tell you something.
I'm going to keep moving right along. You in this cookbook. She's written too many books, clearly. She's just taking this all the way left.
That's the one that's going to go viral, though, ain't it? I'm going to be so mad. I got all these books about purpose. And a ramen
recipe, though.
Right.
All right. So let me get back to this. Anything you would do different?
Oh, goodness. What would I do different? Honestly, I don't want to be one of those people that are just like, no, if I do things different, the journey. But honestly, I
look, this is real talk on the couch. Like,
I'm being honest, though. What would I do different? I wish that I would have had a better financial mindset in the beginning. I do. So if I could, encourage anyone that's listening, that especially those that come from a poverty background or a poverty mindset, and you're jumping into entrepreneurship because you got the vision, you have this big why, make sure that as excited you are about starting the business, that you properly arm yourself with preparing for the basics of starting a business,
of running a business. Starting it, I think, is the easiest part, right? It's the running it and maintaining it and growing it.
But a lot of times, even with the starting, there's a financial sheet that you need for starting a business, and most entrepreneurs don't start with that. They just go, they just start purchasing, they just, you know what I mean? And so I wish that I would have done that different, that I started off with properly preparing my mind, my poverty mindset, getting out of that.
So you've said that twice, and that's something, the first time you said it, it really caught my attention, because I think a lot of people, and I've heard people say this, and it's rubbed me away, right? When they talk about, I think they were saying some celebrity was working on building an app to teach financial literacy to students, and they were trying to bring it into schools, right? And the pushback was, well, isn't that something that parents teach? Like, why is that something that they want to bring into schools? Why is that something that, we as taxpayers should be paying for? That's something you learn at home.
Because at the end of the day, it works in a circle. Like, if our kids aren't financially or have financial literacy, then it just goes back into economic development. And so now we're continuing to have impoverished communities because they weren't taught it.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're not getting it they can't get it from home, because
if
home
doesn't have it. If home isn't taught.
If home doesn't have
absolutely.
If your mom doesn't know how to help you with your math homework, she probably doesn't know how to teach you how to invest, how to start a business.
Or budget a checkbook.
Girl. Because her mom, your grandmom, wasn't able, was regulated to be not allowed to, like, let's be real, So when you said that just really kind of struck a nerve with me, because
we have to take responsibility. And
we have to take responsibility, but we also have to realize this is like, everybody doesn't get the same experience, right? And so you have to be mindful, and you have to, even if when you come from that space, you have to be mindful of there are areas that I'm probably weak in. And that is definitely something that I could I'm working to grow in financial literacy. That, it's just not, everybody doesn't get it. It's a generational thing tied to generational wealth, which is very popular.
And when it comes
to
our community, we don't come from generational wealth. And so we weren't taught financial literacy. And so, and honestly, my true belief is when people come against things that are going to take our community up, it's a way to be able to keep us in poverty. And that is exactly why I'm so committed to, helping female entrepreneurs grow. And the majority of my clients 95% of my clients are African American women. And it's because we start the most businesses every single day. And we are the quickest to fail because we don't have the literacy, the tools, the base, the mentorship, the resources. And so, listen, when you look at, let's just be honest, right? So when you look at, if you ask a white male who his business mentors are, he's going to give Tony Robbins, he's going to give you all these different, and then you ask a black woman, the only person that she has really is Oprah. See, you said you're Oprah, and so we have also a lack of mentors that are at that level to be able to teach generational wealth. And so again, when people come against that type of teaching, it's really just to keep us. And so that's why we have to fight even harder. That if I'm going to start this business, it's not just to inspire. And that's another thing. People start in businesses just to inspire and just because they're passionate about it and just because they want to save the world. But when you start a business, this is something my mentor said to me just a few weeks ago. He said, Tiana, so many people come to me and they say, I want to start a business because I want to help this core group of people. And that's great. But you start a business to make money. If not, you might as well just volunteer. If not, you might as well just have an expensive hobby. Right? No one goes into business to lose or go into business to fail, go into business to be. So you have to have the foundations. And so when it comes to what I would have done different, I would have made sure again that, and it's not to keep harping on what I felt I failed at. This is to help someone else grow. Like if you can learn from my mistakes, my business is very well off. We're a global company right now. We have 3 different divisions. However, it took time to get there. We might have gotten there faster had these basics been taken care of. Right.
Definitely. So, and I think we really kind of already touched on it. in arming yourself in those points that you touched on. My next question was going to be, what should listeners be sure to consider? But I think you kind of touched on that. Anything else you would want to add to that list?
Yeah, just know that it's not going to always look like what you think it's supposed to look like. And, you know, even when we talk about brand, there's so many different facets of the brand, you know? And so marketing, visual,
PR, social communications,
you know? And so to arm yourself, just make sure you know that there is a client that is specifically for you that will save you the most time and money. So many entrepreneurs are quitting because they're throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Some sticks, right?
They're just throwing something out there and hoping someone buys, and then they're getting frustrated because no one has bought, and it's because you aren't targeting your audience.
Right.
And so there's literally, I take my clients through this map, like it's our become your ideal client's best friend type map thing. And just like you, we know so much about each other, right? You know, if I call you after a certain time, you answering the phone, what's wrong? Right? Right?
Yeah.
So just like that, you need to know that about your client. What's keeping them up at night? What are they Googling? What gets them happy? Right. Are they happy at work? Are they happy at home? The questions that you think you don't need to know, you do.
You do.
So that you can properly market your brand
Exactly.
to them.
You have to know where they are, how to talk to them that's going to resonate with them.
Absolutely.
There it is, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that has been a whirlwind journey through the past 5 years. Look, and that's just
a brief synopsis.
Tip of the iceberg, right? But tell me, what do you have coming up next? What are you working on now?
Well, today is my 5-year bossiversary, and I'm so excited to be able to, actually, when I leave here, we're getting ready to do a big announcement. So we have the
Do we get like the exclusive drop?
I'm going to announce it now, right now, for you. Go Tracy, Bata Blow. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
y'all don't know me. In 2005, I was a rapper.
In 2005, she was a freshman at the University of Alabama, Birmingham.
As a rapper.
Go Blaze.
Going to school to rap. No, I'm just so what's coming up? So we have the Dear Fear book. We have 50 published authors with the Dear Fear book. I'm really excited because we're launching Dear Fear Men in November. And we are onboarding our men right now.
Hold on, give us you glossed over. You got 50 published in one book?
No. Sorry. Okay. So that's really good. So the Dear Fear book is this global book movement. Okay. We're in 19 states and 3 countries right now. Whoop, whoop. Okay, I need somebody to
said global and she meant it.
Yes, we are in 3 countries. And so it spans across 4 books. So we have Dear Fear 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then we have Dear Fear Teen. And the Dear Fear book is where leaders come in and they share their stories of how fear attempted to keep them just bound and their strategies to be able to get through. So it's a very transformative book. Okay. We are starting our Dear Fear college tour in August. So we have 5 colleges that we will start touring in August. We started with Tennessee State in March. So we have 5 that we'll be announcing really, really soon. Okay. We're closing those agreements now. Contracts, y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
Business, okay?
Mind your business, okay?
Secure the business.
Okay? And then mind it. And so then we have Dear Fear Men, that their book comes out in November. Okay. We're onboarding them now. We're so excited. The type of men that are coming in to be able to tell their stories. That's
gonna be
right, yeah.
Because guys, they like to be hard,
but they're ready though. Like they're coming in saying, "I'm ready." And so one of the things we say, "Why did you say yes?" Like because this is a program, it's a commitment, right? Like, and we don't play because this is an assignment. Right. You know how I am. I'm the vessel, and so. Like we had one guy that says, because I'm ready to be a better husband and a better father, and my fear keeps controlling me. Man, look. Let the people know. So that comes out in November.
So y'all stay tuned.
We'll be
talking about that when it comes out.
Yes.
When we get ready, yes.
And today we're getting ready to announce. Are you ready for this? You ready? And this is just with Dear Fear. So you ready? Okay. So when I talked about how my team is mad because we're having to go and gather back up all this content, is because we just launched the Fearless Experience. So I've been doing the Fearless Experience for years.
Right.
But
we've heard that phrase before. Well, I have. Y'all are new.
Y'all are new. Y'all, come on in. Let us teach you something. So we're doing the Fearless Experience, but I'm having to go back and get all this content that I've done. Right.
All the folders on your desktop we talked about.
Yes. You did try to get me to do that, didn't you? Oh, my bad. Okay. So, and so like even with sponsors, they're like, how many impressions? And I'm like, thousands. So now we're having to go back and right. So, but anyways, so the Fearless Experience now is coming all together, and we're getting ready to do our first global tour, and we're going to Abu Dhabi.
I want to go
in October.
My passport current. I'm going.
October 10th through the 15th. So we're announcing that today. And we're just really excited. So we're taking the Fearless Experience on the road, going to Abu Dhabi. So that's what's going on with Dear Fear.
Fancy. I love it.
You know, with my Tiana Patrice brands, we're really pivoting me into corporate. I've done a lot of conferences and things of that nature, but we're pivoting me more into corporate organizations, going and teaching leaders how to be able to create fearless leaders in teams and cool. You know, a culture of employee owners is what we're focusing on. How to be able to rise your bottom line, increase your bottom line by focusing on helping your leaders become fearless leaders. So we're doing that. And then I have the Alliance. This is we actually last year on this day, I announced.
1 year ago.
We announced.
We did. Via press release.
Done by the Renee agency. So the Alliance is now, it's Women's CEO Alliance, which is the global company.
Where is it located?
The Alliance is located in Dothan, Alabama. It is the only female-focused co-working space in the state of Alabama.
Whole state, guys.
Whole state. Yes. So we're just really excited about in August we'll be really focusing more on the culture. We've been open for a year now. You know, when you have a brick and mortar and you put it into a small town and it's new, right, having to educate them on what co-working even means. What is like?
There's no WeWork. There's no
nothing work.
Right.
we work at home.
We work at home
is where you know,
work at the table in the kitchen.
At the kitchen,
right?
And so
or we work for somebody.
Let's just be honest. And so the Alliance is a place where leaders can come in and grow their business, where women can grow. We're female focused, but we're not anti-men.
Okay.
And so it's almost we're nearly 3,000 square feet of space. We have private offices. And so we're really excited about what this next year for the Alliance looks like and onboarding partners for that. So we got a lot going on. I didn't think about it until I talked it all out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is. But we can do it.
Little here, little there.
We can do it. What was that?
She want to be a rapper so bad.
Oh, is it my turn?
No, ma'am.
Is it time? No?
Are you going to wrap us out of here?
I might. What you want me to say? Here we go. Is it time?
It can be. You got anything else? What else you want to talk about?
I'm trying to think about my rap.
She's trying to buy time.
I'm trying to think about my rap now.
She's trying to buy time.
Here we go. Tracy about to flow. We on the Brand Therapy Show. Hey.
All right. There we go.
Do I need to put a little bass in my voice?
You just need to go.
You know what? That's not even funny. We got some people behind the scenes that just like completely fell out.
Haters.
But no, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I'm excited for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Brand Therapy is official.
It is official.
Like a referee with a whistle. Okay.
She want to be a rapper so bad.
Did I do it right?
No. That's not it. No. We're not going to do that. Anything else?
I think that's all.
All right. That's it for us. Thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of Brand Therapy. We'll be talking about everything to do with brand, marketing, PR, advertising, with people like the lovely Tiana Patrice who are either entrepreneurs, some who are still working, their 9 to 5 or their 8 a.m. to who knows when they get off. In whatever space that they're in. Just people who deal in brands, touching brands with brand experience, who are have a story to tell, right? We all need a chance sometimes to just lay on the couch and talk about it. So, to catch you next time on Brand Therapy. Thanks for joining us.
Is it still recording, Daniel? Put me some music on. Come on.
Don't do that.
I don't know if... Did I shave?
Ma'am.
You talking about we're going to be on camera.
It's too late.
I'm going to be over here like this.
We can Photoshop it.
Can you see, like, I don't know if I
this is all being recorded.
Like right now?
Yeah.
That's fine. People, ask the person that you're interviewing if they're going to have video. Make sure you get your mustache and your armpits. This ain't right. I've been on the road all day. Well, I want to do it again.